In this video, I am going to introduce you as a table as a layout. So in this video, I'm going to show you and then introduce the idea of how to utilize a table as a container to format or to design your own website. So let's get started. All right. So I'm going to actually use this like blank edge up PowerPoint slide to draw something. Okay. So let's say I want to create a web page, right? So whenever you start, you always have to draw. So let's say this whole thing is your HTML document. Then what you have to do is you can say, okay, I want to have my title here. So title. You can say maybe welcome or blah, blah. I don't know what it is. But then I want to have my picture over here. So I'm going to have a picture over here nicely. And then I'm going to introduce me. Okay, so hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. And welcome to my website, right? It's a paragraph over here. And then what do you want to do? I'm going to actually have a section over here. So you can say my bio, for example, right? And then you can say, you can list up, say, all your high school, your education. Right, and then Ball State University, you can do that. And also what you can do is you can actually put another picture of your, I don't know, maybe high school here and Ball State here. See, why do you want to do it? Because HTML page these days all about like multimedia heavy and rich. You don't want to just like put a text in it, because that's going to be boring and then people don't want to stay in your page at all. And let's say there are like things like you want to do, say, hey, skill, right? You want to say skills, and then you can actually do, hey, you can with a bullet point say I can do Adobe the Dreamweaver, right? And then just say Premiere. I don't know, whatever like tool you have, you can actually list up over here as a bullet point. Let's say this is what you want to do. Okay, the problem gets in that, do you remember that in HTML, whenever you actually press a space bar, doesn't work, which means all this space, there is no actual mechanism to actually do it. I mean, luckily we have a CSS, but for now, let's say we didn't learn the CSS yet. So even you put all this layout here, there should be a way that you can actually control the width and height of each element. And do you remember that? How do you actually put a vertical space in HTML? I don't know how much of you guys remember, but and MBSP, you remember that? And semicolon. Semicolon, it's not a J. Oh. All right. How about yeah, oh no, I'm sorry. This is, no, I'm wrong. This is actually about this. MBSP is a horizontal space, and vertical space is what? BR. Do you remember that? Right? So whenever you hit the return key in your design view, Dreamweaver automatically creates another 1 and 2 and 3 BR code for you. Now, let's say that, but still it's not good idea. So one way good idea that people come up with is, hey, this is not really precise and not really liking, it's not like aesthetically present. How about we actually create our website using a table as a container? And what they did is they come up with this idea. I don't know, we can actually change the pen color. Okay, great. So say blue. So yeah, this is what I want to do, but let's put it at entire thing as a table. How about that? Right? So they actually put the entire thing table, and they say, well, we're gonna actually put the title in the first row, and we're gonna actually put the this picture and then bio in the second row. But then in order to give it a space in between, I'm gonna actually create a blank third row. So that's gonna be actually give a space. So like this. And then if you want to give it just space, what you can do is, yeah, I'm going to give it like one column over here. And I'm not going to use it just like blank, but then this is going to give you a space over here and give a space over here. And for here, we are going to give a space over here. Oh, perfect, right? So that's the idea of using a table for this purpose, okay? So you said, well, Dr. Lee, didn't you say that you're going to use an entire row as like title? Of course, but again, if you look at the bottom over here, there are some column has to be divided. So that's why you have to divide all this color, a column. So in this layout, what kind of table do you need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 and 6 table. You need a 5 by 6 table. Then you can actually merge entire row for the title. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's actually try to do this with the HTML code, shall we? I'm gonna exit out of this here and let's go to Dreamweaver. Okay, so in here we are going to create a new because we never done it before, right? So create a new HTML and it'll come to like, I'm not gonna do anything over here, just click on create. All right, now the first thing you wanna do is still Untitled -1, I'm gonna say save as what? My first one.html, okay. All right. Now, what you want to do is you want to put a gigantic table over here. So in the first column, what you can do is you're going to actually click on insert over here or here. You can actually click on table. And do you remember this window? So here, what did I say? We need a 5 by 6 table, right? So 5 by 6 row. Okay. And table width, it's going to be entitled web. So I'm going to actually make a web page with 1,000 pixels in width. And then we don't need a border because this table border shouldn't show up because it's gonna use it as a container, right? So we don't need any table border. So we're gonna actually put the 0 over here. I think we're gonna actually put in a 1 first, and then we're gonna actually clear out later on because if you put a 0, it's extremely hard to see each column. So it's better we have this border when we work on the table, but then later on, we're gonna actually set it as 0 later on. And the header, we don't need any header, and click on OK. So, do you remember what I said? The first line, right? So we're gonna actually create a little bit of the height here. And I'm gonna actually merge only these 3. And merge, and what do you wanna say? Okay, welcome. Didn't I say that I want to actually put a nice title over here? So Michael Lee's home, right? And then, oh, well, I want to actually put in the center, right? How do you do it? Do you remember we did? Go under the property windows and horizontal and center. Of course, yeah, this is, don't worry about it too much right now. Okay, we're going to actually fix all this later on. And then we are going to make it a little bit bigger. So how do you do it? Go to the CSS and size. We are going to actually put in a 36. Pretty good. And with some nice color. So we're going to have to highlight this guy, color. And then you can change the font color to red if you like to. Right. And then you can actually give it an entire row as a background color. So like say background color of like a little bit greenish. Cool. All right. And then next line, what did I say? I want to have a nice picture over here, right? So I'm going to drag it a little bit of a space over here. I locate my cursor over here and go to the insert. And why did I go to the insert? Because I want to actually put an image over here. But remember this. So this one, my first one.html, right? Let me show you this desktop. So my first .html. This is here. So when you put an image, I mean, you have to refer to my previous video. Whenever you put an image into the HTML, you're gonna have to put the image first, and then you can make a linkage between HTML and your image. So I'm gonna use this like practice image. I know this is not my bio, but let's say layer, let's say this is like my FJ Cruiser. Do we have any FJ Cruiser? FJ1. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use a FJ Cruiser picture as my own headshot. So I'm going to actually click on it, go under the Insert tab and Image. Okay, where is image? Okay, here we go. And I will say my picture is here, fj1.jpg, open. And this is huge, right? It messed around my photo. That's okay. You click on it, you highlight the picture, and then you're gonna actually click on the percentile in property windows. So this is about like, look, do you see that property window? It shows the picture because I highlight the picture in the HTML. And then I'm gonna actually make it as a 30% because it's huge, still huge. So I'm gonna actually make it smaller up with a shift key. So shift key, smaller, cool, all right. And then, yeah, this messed up, that's okay, because I'm gonna actually bring it down over here and then more on this. Here we go, right? So this is my image. I'm gonna actually bring out a little bit of the space between here. So I'm gonna leave the same space over here, right? And then what I wanna do is like use this as a space between here, right? So I'm gonna actually have this space. And I'm gonna put this image very first of all, and then I'm gonna actually go to the best line, and I'm gonna actually put in the this side of it. So I align this picture in the right, and then as you can see over here, that I click on this guy. This is space, and then I'm gonna put a lot of space and say self-introduction. So say, hello, my name is Michael Lee, and you're gonna put a lot of like the paragraph in there, self-introduction, but we don't have a time here. So what did I say about the fake paragraph? Lorem ipsum, right? And I am going to copy some fake paragraph from the internet. So come on. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna just I need a 2 paragraph actually, short one. All right, so 2. I copy and paste it. Well, this is too much, right? So you can actually give it a little bit of like delete over here this much. Okay. So this is what we did. And then like I said, this entire line, I can actually merge because it's a work as my space. And then what you can do is in this part here, you can say the education. Didn't I say that right? So you can say, you can actually give it more space over here. So I'm gonna actually starting from the horizontally, vertically top. So add education. And then what you can do is you can actually, I would say under here, we can actually create an HTML, right? And we can actually make a bullet point. So let's say ABC high school, I'm making things up, right? School. And Ball State University, let's say that, right? And then you're gonna put like 2 pictures next to each other over here, right? So I don't have any ABC in high school in Ball State, so I'm gonna just like put anything I have in my desktop. So click on image, and I'm gonna bring on some picture, like considering that as a like, you can just fake it. That is my my high school. So this is high school. Whoa, this is too big. So let's say 30%. Highlight this picture. And say 30%. And this one 30%. I thought it was locked. Okay, so where did it go? Here we go. And then we can actually put it in the very vertically. Here we go. It's just still too big, right? So I'm gonna actually click. We're gonna have to move it around a little bit. And with the shift key, we can actually make it smaller. And then we can put another picture as a, so let's say this is ABC. We can actually put in the right side of it. So we can actually go to the CSS and make it as aligned right. And then still my cursor is like blinking over here. Do you see that? So which means I can put another image over here. So image, let's say there's a, do I have another image somewhere here? Let's say this is a birth date. Put a birth date over here, that's too big. Click on it, and then I'm gonna say 20% of this picture. Here we go. And then I'm gonna actually make it as, yeah. So this is education. Do you see what I'm doing? So you can actually put entire this thing as, I'm gonna only actually have this guy as a background color. So go to the HTML, and then for background color, I'm gonna actually make it a little bit bluish. Boom, so only this part. And I'm gonna have this whole part as another background. So it's gonna be a little bit like bluish, a reddish background over here. So let's say I'm gonna stop over here because I just like spent too much time to set up this Dreamweaver, right? And what I can do is, sorry, if you go to your computer, there is my first one.html here, and I am going to open it up with a browser. Here we go. So what did I say? This is a page, but again, we see all these lines. So we're gonna actually remove this line. Second of all, we don't wanna actually our layout in the left align. We're gonna actually put in the center line. So what we can do is come back here. First of all, click inside somewhere. And then, didn't I say that there is a like bottom, like a tags? You have to click on table here. Then it's gonna highlight the entire table instead of each cell. Then this property window actually shows all the like menus about this entire table instead of each cell. So align should be centered, and second border should be 0. And then we're gonna actually save it as a one more time. And if you go to the browser and refresh, here we go. So I know there's just still like this, I think it's just something to do with the cell spacing. But again, in generally speaking, this actually is delivered as we use a table as a layout purposes. So let me see what I can do more on this. So one more time, this table and table, there's a cell spacing. Let's say the 0 and 0. We'll see how it goes. Yes. And then save it and go to the browser, refresh. Here we go. So there's no space in here and here. This is how you use a table as a container or layout purpose for your HTML. You just saw what I did with a table. In short, what I did in this video is you actually come up with your own design first and try to implement it as utilizing with a table. So you put like all your elements in the bios and pictures and your skill sets, everything under this like table structure, and you did. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.